So in this video, we're going to be learning how to write viral threads on X. What is the structure to be able to write a viral thread? How can we personalize this to our business and brand? And lastly, most importantly, how we're going to be able to bring in leads from every single thread we write to be able to put people into our client acquisition part of our systems. So a lot of people go over this by paying thousands of dollars on a course, being able to understand step by step of tips that they see in a doc or something like that. But here, I'm going to give you a different way to learn it. We're going to really be going over how we can write our threads by showing you exactly the process I go through. So I'm going to take you through the idea generation all the way to the final draft of this thread. So you're going to just watch as I write this out live, give you some ideas as we go through it, and be able to learn from more of an example as opposed to lessons you'll see on a plain old page. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do when we're writing a thread is coming up with the idea. That's the number one priority. We have to understand, is this idea going to fit within our brand? Is our audience going to relate to it? And are we helping people by educating them on something that we can show them in depth in our offer? So what I typically do is go into a call script that I have with my team where we talk about ideas for what threads we're going to write for the week. She then takes the script and puts it in ChatGPT and then asks for ideas and inspiration that we can get from the video script of our conversation. So we don't have to replay everything, write notes. We're just putting in the script in here. And then it's kind of talking about the ICP of who I'm building for, how we can present different angles based on my experience within industrial and organizational psychology, where I've learned to build systems for companies, as well as my experience within sales. So working on different parts of the system. The customer journey aspect is being helped by my experience within my master's program. And then, of course, the sales side is being more the client acquisition. And then my time within building Web3 on X is really where my content experience comes in. So I can use each of these experiences for each different pillar of my content. So we kind of go through just different ideas and different thoughts of how we can present this information to be able to be the content for the week. Now, the way I structure my content for the week, it is a simple funnel. So we have 2 to 3 threads for X that I write based on these ideas. Then we repurpose that into newsletters. We then repurpose those newsletters into YouTube videos and scripts, and then we put those into shorter forms as well. We do the same thing with taking the threads on X, bringing them into medium form posts and then short form posts. And then the same thing with LinkedIn, we turn those medium forms into more carousels and the threads as well. So that's kind of the way we repurpose the content. But now that we've gone through the ideas, let's go over what we've come up with. So here within Tweet Hunter, what we have here is just what I've written out, what I basically have for what is going to be the thread that I want to focus on, which is the idea of your business isn't broken, your systems are. How to diagnose and fix your bottlenecks. So first thing I'm going to want to do from this is expand on the idea. What do I do to be able to fix my bottlenecks? If I'm talking to a friend, what is the answer I'm giving him here? That's how I like to see it, because I like to try to make it as simple as possible. That's what you want to do throughout your writing. If you write too many advanced words, things that are going to be not at a basic understanding for most people, not at a 5th grade reading level, you're going to want to simplify it. You can use tools like Hemingway to be able to simplify it for you. But in this case, I like to be able to talk like I'm talking to a friend, so it makes it simpler without having to go through that process. So what would I tell a friend here? Your business isn't broken, your systems are. How to diagnose and fix your bottlenecks. So 1, I would say to separate their systems. Separate it into content, client acquisition, customer journey. This is exactly what I do for my clients within our system. This is exactly what I would do for a friend in here. That is how I separate it out, because it is all part of one chain, but you want to understand that there is your content systems that are going to be able to bring you leads. And then that is when your client acquisition part picks up, where then you're getting on the call. And then the second you make the sale, we're getting into the customer journey aspect. So that's how you can take something that's so overwhelming, be able to break it down into more digestible pieces and parts of your system. So that would be the number 1 thing I would do. Number 2, understand your problems. Be honest with yourself, because that can be tough sometimes as well. Is it a lack of leads? Or we can start with content. Is it a lack of impressions? A lack of leads? A lack of sales? A lack of testimonials? So from this, I'm able to simply understand that if it's a lack of impressions, it's clearly a content issue. If it's a lack of leads, it could also be maybe more of a lead magnet issue, or that end part of the content system that's going to be able to make your interactions on X into someone that could potentially be a lead. Maybe it is the DM process that's tough. So it could either be the end of the content system or the beginning of the client acquisition system. So just understanding where each action is taking place within your system is incredibly important for this thread. So that's, of course, what I focus in is teaching clients how to be able to identify problems in their thread, in their funnel, and be able to work on those systems. So that's what we're going to be building out here to be able to educate the audience within the same niche. So lack of impressions, lack of leads being in the client acquisition or content area, a lack of sales, maybe being within the sales script, or it could be the beginning of the client acquisition process, which may be a lack of clarification through the DMs of what this is going to be, maybe not qualifying people enough, or a lack of testimonials. So these questions help identify where in your funnel is the missing piece or something that needs to be adjusted. So 3, once we have this, being able to go to separate your systems, understand your problems, and then you want to diagnose by analytics. What I mean by this, look for exactly what numbers lack in your system. So what numbers lack in your system? So let's say it is a lack of impressions. What is the average number that you're getting? What is the average number that you want? If it's a lack of leads, how many people are you bringing in to talk to versus how many are actually turning into leads? We want to be able to look at the stats and understand what part of the process is exactly falling through. If we're DMing and we're finding 100 qualified people, so let's say 100 qualified people, and we are only getting 10 leads on a call, then we're only having a 10% return on those qualified people. We want to be able to understand how we can improve it. Where are people dropping off? Are people dropping off in the middle of our DM conversation? Is there a certain part where people are falling through the most? Or possibly is the lack of leads coming from just not finding enough qualified people? Maybe we're only finding 20 qualified people a day and we are setting 10 leads on a call. The conversion doesn't become the issue. It is more about being able to find people that are within the right niche. So understanding these analytics, and these could be good examples to be able to present for number 3. So I'm going to leave that here, just keeping that under the idea generation. Number 4, what would we do here? So once we have that, we've diagnosed the issue. Now we would look at the actions to be done from here. So actionable steps within solving the bottleneck. A, B, split testing. So what I mean by this is, let's say, for example, the issue in your funnel is the DM script. There are people dropping off left and right when you're messaging them because of the script that you've had being able to be established. So let's say the script is a lot more aggressive and direct, saying, "Hi, how are you? I'm going to be able to get your program to this and that number in the next 90 days. Want to work together?" That is typically not what I would call a good intro message or anything like that. So what we can do, let's say we're hell-bent on this being a good intro, we can have something like that and then be able to also test it against another script. So script 1, original script used, versus script 2, new testing script. Measure the analytics against each other. See what areas improvement or decline happen. Yes, forgive me, I'm writing with one cast hand. So this is the idea behind number 4. We're going to separate these out just to be able to have them all organized a bit. So that is number 4. Be able to split test those ideas. So from there, I would think that that would be the idea to how to diagnose and fix bottlenecks, but we can continually learn from this, and let's see what would we want to do. It's probably the overall takeaway in this sense. I want to just get to the point. So overall takeaway, building a successful business requires, I want to talk about something where it's really emphasizing how important it is to build systems in your business, because it's incredibly important. And that is when I realized I would be able to scale my business up incredibly if I was able to focus on this from a more logical perspective by looking at my business and system. So I know that this is really the priority of what people should be doing. Overall takeaway, building a successful business requires 100% focus on your systems and processes. The only way to find what works for you is to test your current system with new ideas and study the data. Maybe we'll make that into bullet points so it's more digestible, because this could be a bit fun. When I'm looking at this from here, I don't see as much of a actionable lesson. So what I want to do in the overall takeaway is make bullet points to be able to focus on, okay, you've learned all of this. Now here's what you do. So if I'm going to make this into bullet points, I will say, clarify each part of your system, identify potential problems, confirm problems with data, test new ideas against old ones. This is incredibly actionable for people to be able to take away. I am just giving knowledge that I've learned throughout my process. So not only are you getting a thread writing lesson, but you're getting a systems lesson here. This is something that I have found to be incredibly beneficial from my process. So this is exactly what we're going to be doing. We now have our main ideas. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. The hook, as you may have heard, is the most important part. I can have all of the secrets to making $1 million right here. But if I don't have an attractive enough hook that's going to be able to bring people in, no one will see this thread. And it won't matter. Doesn't matter if I have $1 billion giveaway in here. People won't care because they won't be attracted to it and they won't go through the process. Think of your thread as your funnel. You have to grab attention in the beginning and then allow the reader to learn through the process. So your business isn't broken, your systems are. How to diagnose and fix your bottlenecks. You want to try to make this personal. Possibly we'll think about that. We want to separate this out so it is more organized within here. Your business isn't broken, your systems are. 4 easy steps to find and fix your bottlenecks to add 10K a month to your business. Or maybe you want to make this specific to your coaching or writing program. Maybe I'll pick one, maybe I'll leave it as is. So separate your systems. Content. This idea is how we're going to get leads. We could say your business, but if we want to relate to our ICP, this is the ICP. I work with coaches and writers. So it doesn't make sense for me to be able to say your business if these are the only people I want to target. Could it be a little filling jargon putting both? Yes. So I may want to put one here. So I'll look over that once we kind of get through that. I always think that you want to go through your thread, always kind of go back to the hook and just keep continually working on it. You should spend maybe half your time on your hook because it's so important to be able to do. Separate your systems. Content, client, use here. Just different bullet points I can use. Content, client acquisition, customer journey. Be honest with yourself. Your business suffer from lack of impressions, lack of leads, lack of sales, lack of testimonials. Each answer reflects a different part of your system that must be fixed, or we could say addressed. Perhaps fixed would be a simpler way of writing that out, so we might want to keep that there. Now, we are a little bit filled on this one, so we're going to want to simplify it. Understand your problems. Be honest. Save a couple lines there. I like the arrows better for this thread just because it's pointing out things instead of highlighting them. Maybe we can use these types of bullet points at the end, but that's just kind of how I see it and how I like to structure it out, just so it has those arrows. Does your business suffer from a lack of impressions, lack of sales, lack of testimonials? So each answer reflects a different part of our system that must be fixed. These questions help identify where in your funnel. Okay, so perhaps we can make this just a different part. So let's put how you can apply this. We want to fit this into actionable steps, how you can apply this. These questions help identify where in your funnel is the missing piece, something that needs to be addressed. Is the missing piece. We could just do that. Understand what parts of your system produce impressions, sales, testimonials. Once identified, we go to the next step. Good transition. Be able to talk about what comes next. Confirm with, instead of analytics, we're going to go data. Just simpler vocabulary here. Many of you are going to be like, why analytics? It's pretty simple itself, but we want to just make sure we dumb it down as much as possible. We want everyone possible to be able to understand this and be able to read it without jargon. We want it to not have subject matter vocabulary. We want this to be easily readable for everyone here. We want a thread to be skimmable. So that's really the best way we're going to be able to do this, is go point by point and really just identify what could be the most beneficial here. Look for exactly what numbers lack in your system. So let's say 100 qualified people, 110 leads on a call, 20 qualified people a day, 10 leads on a call. So this we could probably make into a Canva image, which won't take too incredibly long, honestly. So let me look at this, confirm with data, look exactly what numbers lack in your system. Creators, most successful creators take action based on what the data is telling them. All right, so here we're gonna go and make a simple Canva design. Analysis, we'll see how much this goes. Let me just look up numbers, maybe. Stats, could be this. Use this template. Okay, so from this data right here, 100 qualified people, 10 leads on a call, 20 qualified a day, 10 leads on a call. So we're going to put that into this image here. Basically, we don't need the text because I wanted to get this much information across while also giving an example here. And to not make it as wordy, we're going to put it into images, and we're going to be able to make that easier for our audience to be able to digest. Big plus and equal signs here, so people are easily able to see what the issue is. So 100 qualified leads plus 10 calls booked. Maybe there's a client acquisition bottleneck for the system. We're having these people that are qualified, but we're not being able to convert them. Could be, a DM script issue. 20 plus qualified leads, 10 calls booked. That is content and outreach bottleneck. We're not getting out to the good amount of people, but the people that we're bringing in, 50% are booking calls. That's incredible. So being able to have this kind of data that goes with it, look for exactly the number, what numbers lack in your system. Most successful creators can take action based on what the data is telling them. So we have a lot of this here. Probably gonna have to expand on number 1, but we'll just keep going from here. Actionable steps within solving the bottleneck. A/B split testing. So maybe we just put this as the title because that's exactly what we're going to be talking about here. Or we can do both. Take action. A/B split testing. Script 1, original script used versus script 2, new testing script. This is when we can use our other bullet point as well. Put that in here. Measure the analytics against each other. See what happened, what areas of improvement. I want to make this simple. And this is why we do a quick first draft. So we're just able to improve it here. See what is improving or declining based on changes. And then we can incorporate an image of A/B split testing. Pretty simple idea. Maybe we'll find something on Google that could be easy to implement. If not, we can create our own thing in Canva. I'll be able to talk about this. So this is a good example of what it does. This is a great example of it. It has conversion excise information in front, so we don't really want to use that as much. This could be it. This could be something that we can use. Be able to bring that over here, check out some more things as well, see what really matches well for us. This is a great one that explains it pretty simple of what A/B split testing is all about. We use this throughout psychology within different experiments and variations. So really just implementing the same idea into our business of what we can do here. Great. Pretty simple, looks scrollable. It doesn't have too much where we're going to really be stuck on this for a while. So it doesn't become overwhelming for the reader to be able to just give up on the thread. Also, this is not an incredibly long thread. It's just a lot of information all packed into one. I have been trying to do a lot of that more just because I think being able to just be punchy with your information, giving quick information, and then actionable steps is the best way to be able to increase your leads, especially within storytelling on threads, especially if it is going to be more educational. If it's more storytelling, you can dole out the story and separate it out based on your experiences as well. So being able to do the personal side of storytelling will probably take more parts of your thread. So overall takeaway, building successful business requires 100% focus on your systems and processes. The only way to find out what works for you is to test your current system with new ideas and study the data. So I'm going to make this into more of an action. Test your current system with new ideas and study the data. Clarify each part of your system, identify potential problems, confirm problems with data, test new ideas against old ones. I can make this point 1, point 2, 3, and 4 because it directly correlates to our top 4 points that we're going to have. Is there a way, this will probably become 2 lines once it's actually posted on X. This overall takeaway, what you should take from this. Make it simpler. Business requires 100% focus on your systems and processes. Test current systems with new ideas and study the data. 4, our call to action. This is going to be the important part that is going to take your thread into more leads. Let's say a testimonial that we have done in the past before. Take Cheyenne, for example. I have a thread that I've talked about how we've solved this problem. So instead of having to find another way to retell the story, I'm just going to go simply to the testimonial I have talked about already of what we have done within his system. First, we focus on the most profitable writing skill, not storytelling, branding. It's hook writing. This is what Cheyenne's threads look like before and after applying these methods. So we kind of talk about really engaging within the hooks, talk about the process. First few didn't do well, but they ended up doing well in the long run. So we kind of go through the process here of how we want to do it. So what information do I want to present the most about Cheyenne's story? So at first, struggling with his viral writing system. Studied data and improved hooks his content to be able to capture the audience better. He's now gained over, how many followers does he have now? Looking at it from here, so I can use this example for something that we've done for Cheyenne, but I think what we want to perhaps do is save that for a storytelling thread where we're able to use that more as a personal story. So what we can do here is talk about being able to help people throughout their lead process. business. Okay, so from what I've done before, I included how I implement this. I put in the information here, pass what you should take from here, and then go more into the call to action. So I talk about something that makes myself credible, my own case study. I then go into a client's case study and how we've helped him be able to get those followers and consistent leads. And then I link it to the thread of how I've helped him. We then go to what my team is looking to do in the future. This is more of the call to action for the program. My team is now on a mission to scale 5 more coaching and writing programs this month. Let's be more specific. 5 more coaches or ghostwriters this month that are looking to add 10K a month to their business. This is not for beginners. If you have an established offer earning 2 to 8K a month, looking to scale your offer to the next level without working 24/7, DM me systems to learn more before we sell out again. So pretty simple, getting to the point, don't have to explain too much. I'm telling them what I need of them, not what I can do for them, but what I need of them, taking it from an authority perspective. And I already mentioned up here what I can do for them and what I have done for myself. Now we want to go back to what we said we're going to do here. Separate your systems: content system, client acquisition system, customer journey. All these systems are all part one funnel. We want to be able to understand the role of each step. Separate your systems: content systems, client acquisition, customer journey. While these three are all part of one funnel, we want to be able to understand the role of each system to better understand how they work together. Content system helps create awareness of your brand and identifies potential client. Acquisition system helps guide leads through process and how you can help them achieve a desired result. We're going to have to summarize this greatly. Your customer journey system is a step-by-step approach to achieve the client's desired result. Your content system helps create awareness of your brand and identifies potential leads. Your client acquisition system helps guide through your process and how you can help them achieve a desired result. Your customer journey system is a step-by-step approach to achieve a client's desired result. So obviously, this is stuff that we're going to have to fix greatly. Helps you understand their problems, leads problems, and how you can help them. Customer journey system is a step-by-step approach to the client's result. We want to be able to understand the role of each system to better understand how they work together. Here is why. Your content system helps create awareness of your brand and identifies potential leads. Your client acquisition system helps you understand the leads' problems and how you can best help them. Your customer journey system is a step-by-step approach to achieve the client's desired result. We want to understand the role of each system to better understand how they work together. Here's a better way to understand each system. This will fit on the lines. All right, so your business isn't broken, your systems are. 4 easy steps to fix your bottlenecks to add 10K a month to your coaching writing program. Separate your systems: content system, client acquisition system, customer journey. You want to understand the role of each system to better understand how they work together. Here's a better way to understand each system. Your content system helps create awareness of your brand and identifies potential leads. Your client acquisition system helps you understand the leads' problems and how you can best help them. Your customer journey system is a step-by-step approach to achieve the client's desired results. So I think that this will probably do best with an image because there is so much information on here that we want to be able to create an image that basically sums up what we are saying here, because this is somewhere where we could potentially lose people because there is a lot of information here. So we want to just create something that's going to help people understand it very simply so they can look at the image and then go more into detail on the text. 2, understand your problems. Be honest. Does your business suffer from lack of impressions, lack of sales, lack of testimonials? Each answer reflects a different part of your system that must be fixed. How can you apply this? These questions help identify where in your funnel is the missing piece. Help identify the missing piece in your funnel better. Understand what parts of your system what parts of your system build impressions, sales, and testimonials. Once identified, we go to the next step. Confirm with data. Look for exactly what numbers lack in your system. The most successful creators take action based on what the data is telling them. Take action. A/B split testing. Script 1, original use script. Script 2, new testing script. Measure the analytics against each other. See what is improving or declining based on changes made. Measure the data against each other. Measure the analytics against each other. Measure the data. Let's do data. Sounds simpler. What should you take from this? Building a successful brand business requires 100% focus on your systems and processes. Test current systems, new ideas, and study the data. Clarify each part of your system. Identify potential problems, confirm problems with data, test new ideas. Here is how I do it in my systems consulting business. I'm introducing my business here. How I have this every Friday, I allow myself the time to review my full funnel, look at the data of the 3 parts of my funnel, restructure my actions in my system, study the results of split testing. This allowed me to sell out my systems program and earn systems consulting program and earn 15K in 1 month. Take Cheyenne for another example. At first, he was struggling with his viral writing system. He studied the data and improved the hooks of his content to be able to capture audience. He's now getting over and a consistent flow of leads. The team is now on a mission to scale 5 more coaches or ghostwriters that are looking to add 10K in 1 to their business. This is not for beginners. All right. So I like this. I like kind of what's given here. What do I need to add to this? Perhaps some images here. Maybe with how I implement this, I can put an image of myself and be able to attach that. Understand your problems, be honest. All right, that's kind of leveling with them. This is an image I could present. I do like that here. This is probably going to be an image of myself. So I am missing 3 images. One of myself here, one that's going to fill the data here, and then one that would probably be of myself here because I'm talking about how I implement my system. So overall, I know we've kind of skipped around a little bit, but this is essentially the idea of how you want to write out your threads. You come up with the idea, you structure it out, you just let it flow, and then you just go back, edit it, make it systemized, put it all together where it's flowing all together. Right now, I'm giving out the 4 steps of how to systemize your brand, and then I go into detail of what I have done through implementing the system myself, what clients have done through implementing the system themselves, and then how we can best approach this. So I'm going to make this into my personal thread that is going to be about my story as well as educating people on what they can do. So I hope this helps a lot and be able to understand better what it takes to be able to build out your thread. Let me know if you have any questions at all. You can DM me or message or comment as well.